going on, everybody? This is the grave of Dr. I think his name was John Henderson. He died November 30th, 1894. He was shot in the face by either a just regular shotgun or a double barrel shotgun. Depends on the story that you're told. He fought against the Klan in our area. They called themselves the White Caps, and they really got out of control and started trying to control everybody for everything. Even if you owed a debt in a local supermarket and didn't pay it, they paid you a visit. So he stood up to them. They had a battle just over here at a place called Battle Hill. If you look on your Google Maps, you can find that. But the newspaper said, I don't know how much about it's online, there was a little, but I got this from the local newspaper and just from people from around here. But he was reading his paper one Sunday afternoon when somebody stuck a shotgun through an open window of his house and almost point blank range shot him in the face. So tragically, that brought an end to him. The side he fought for was actually called the Bluebills. Bluebills and White Caps, but you can look that up. The last video I shot, when I was uploading it, for some reason or another, right at the real spooky part of the video, it decides to stop the upload right there. I don't know how that happened. I'm not aware that you can freeze an upload where you want to or anything, so I didn't have anything to do with that. If you watch the updated video, you can tell I kept walking and talking, carrying on, but I don't know, that was awful strange. Like I said, I was on the bad side of the cemetery. I call it the bad side because I don't know how many of you all saw those pictures I posted on there. Oh, look at this. This has got to be a gravestone of some kind. Look how flat the bottom is. Man, that is a little bitty grave marker. Who knows how old that thing is. I hope somebody don't throw it away when they're mowing. Anyway, those pictures I put on, me and my son had come back up here, I think it's around 2006 maybe. Not sure what the date said. But we took some pictures and we caught a lot of orbs and stuff. I'm not a big orb guy, even though some of them looked weird. There is one picture with some orbs in it I'll post later on. And it was really strange. It had orbs all different colors. It looked like the planets. It looked like Jupiter and Mars just floating above the cemetery. But I'll post that here after a while when I get back to the house. But the two pictures that I put on there was actually a picture, then the enlarged picture of I don't know, just a demonic face is all I know how to describe it. I didn't see it when I first took the picture. It wasn't until 4 or 5 years later we got a better computer with a little bit better resolution, and when you zoomed in on it with a memory card in it, man, you could see everything. It's snow on the mountains today. You could see every detail. You could even see the pupils in the eyes. The picture I posted, I can't find that memory card. It's more or less just a screenshot, so when you zoom in, you lose a lot of the detail. But I had some people tell me that they cleaned it up and they could really see a lot of the detail in it. But we was up here one night taking pictures, and we just got this real cold feeling come across when we stumbled across the other side of the graveyard, and just real eerie, and I felt the need to snap a picture. Nobody in it or anything, and like I said, didn't see nothing for a long time, but that was really weird. If you'll notice, I'm standing in a wide spot. You got graves over here, nothing, and then you got graves over there, and then nothing. A lot of these graves on this side are Civil War soldiers. There's some Revolutionary War soldiers. There's newer ones too, not many, but the witch's grave is said to be over here. And the one I showed in that video was said to be the witch's grave. And I don't know if I can find it right now. I don't like walking over here. But a lot of people didn't want their kinfolk buried on this side after that point. After she died in the late 1800s or early 1900s, nobody wanted buried over here anymore. It was all over there. Their family over there. Her family's buried over here. The whole holler's buried over here. When you get over here, you just get this creepy sense. You can just look around and kind of tell that things are not right. And I don't know what was going on with that spine, that backbone on that grave. That's not the first time I've come across stuff up here. It almost looks like some kind of ritual that people's done up here. And it's always on this side, but right here give you some idea how old these graves are on this side. Revolutionary War. This guy was buried here in 1823. So not a whole lot of people been buried on this side after that point. And Lord knows how old some of these are. But just want to talk to you about that. I didn't want you to think I was into any mischief or anything when the video stopped. It was really strange. But as far as things at my house goes, things have quietened down a little bit. A couple of things still falling off the dresser and stuff, but other than that, knock on wood, nothing major. So just give y'all a little update. I hadn't talked to y'all in a long time. I do want to talk to y'all at some point. You can't make a Smoky Mountain video without making Bigfoot. And a lot of people think that the feral men and Bigfoot are the same thing. And they're not. The feral men are really not anything that you would label as paranormal, I don't think. But, you know, a lot of people see a big hairy man in the woods. You know, the first thing they're going to think is Bigfoot. That's what I would think if I didn't know no better. But she will not come on from this side of the graveyard. Come on, girl. But there's been a lot of Bigfoot sightings around this area. A lot of them. But the way you can tell the Bigfoot from these feral men sightings is the Bigfoot are just so much taller. I mean, you're talking 7 foot, maybe even taller than that. You're talking, you know, broad chested and wide. And they found bones of these feral men in the woods. Ain't it strange that nobody's ever found the remains of a Bigfoot? Now, you can find remains of Tyrannosaurus Rex that lived billions of years ago. You can find remains of other dinosaurs, but you can't find the remains of something that's supposed to have been here all this time and still here today, and no remains have been found. I kind of got a theory behind that. I've got a couple of friends who tracked a Bigfoot along the river, and it was a sandy part of the river, so it left really good footprints. It's been about 5 years ago, and it left really good footprints, and it turned away from the river, but it was still pretty much in the sand, and they just stopped. They dead end. They disappeared. Now, this is the second set of friends to tell me about footprints disappearing. So I just wonder, what does that have to do with these people disappearing in some of these national parks? Now, I said some, I didn't say all. But if something like that can disappear and we can't find the carcass and the footprints just stop, kind of makes you rethink everything. You know, if it can disappear, can it make you disappear with it? Real strange stuff goes on in these old mountains up there. But I don't know, that's just something to think about. Something really odd goes on back deep in these woods. You get back so far, it ain't the creatures you gotta fear. Once you get back in there where decent folk don't go, that's the least of your worries. But I talked to my friend who I mentioned one time. A lot of y'all wanted me to talk to him about the guy who saw like the clear jelly in the woods. I asked him about that, and he told me that it put off what he thought was a sweet smell. It's almost a smell that made you want to go to it before you ever saw it. Now, he thinks was this thing putting off the smell. Of course, it could have been anything in these woods. But when he saw it, he said he knew something wasn't right. It wasn't something of this world. There was no explanation for what he was seeing. It scared him. He said all the wildlife, all the bugs, he said everything was just silent. And he said this thing just jiggled and wiggled its way through the woods, and he was frozen with fear, just hoping it didn't turn toward him. He said in a short time, it was gone. It was completely gone out of sight. Don't know where it went to. He told me he's never been as scared in all his life as he was the day he saw that. So, he also told me that he had another buddy, he was telling people about it. They had seen the same thing, similar to this, but it was up in a tree. So, go figure. I didn't get any details about that, but I could tell he didn't want to talk about it. He was disturbed about it, and he really didn't want to talk about it. So, I just think these national parks, I think a lot of them are special places, and that's why the government wants to control them. You know, they want to control, they do control places like Area 51, you know, and you got Skinwalker Ranch. I don't know that a lot of these national parks just aren't similar to these kinds of places. It just, you know, it just makes sense. It makes sense. They want to control it. They want to control what you do in it, where you go. Don't get off the trails in this part. Don't cross over here. Keep out. I don't know how many of y'all's been way back in the Smokies, but if you get off the trails and you go so far, you'll find boundary lines that says do not cross, which I find odd. But anyway, I'll get back at y'all. I'm just gonna shoot y'all a real quick video on here. I got some more stuff to tell y'all, some stories to tell. So, till we meet again.